Hello everyone, thanks for clicking in on this video. I hope my clickbait worked. Just kidding, this is not clickbait. I will talk through how this music video happened, but this was an indie budget music video that I got to DP and Steadicam for, and also edit and color grade for a limited budget. But I'm super proud of how this project turned out and just thought it would be worth sharing for a lot of people that are interested in getting into music videos and trying to figure out where they want to go in their career and like find their style and find their voice and also get creative and scrappy with the gear that they're given. So in this video, I'll talk through how the gig came about, camera movement, our approach to that, and do some lighting breakdown of some of the scenes that we had to shoot. If we've never met through the internet before, hello, my name is Mika Matinazad. I'm a freelance cinematographer and filmmaker. Been doing this for like 5 years full time and run a small production company, and just hoping to share more tips and spread the love. So this gig came about through my wife.
And this, my wife Oksana, she's a baron.
She is an uber talented photographer and director and creative director. Going back to how the gig came about, Sophia actually worked with Becca a handful of months ago, and she shot all her album cover material and her promo material. Sophia pitched a treatment for this video. It got approved. Even though budget was super small, we were able to enlist a handful of PAs that were super helpful on set with getting things built ahead of time. I was also Steadicam operating, but lean crew, I had one gaffer / grip with me and a first AC, and that's all we had to work with. So the camera we shot this on was my Blackmagic Ursa G2, which is it's a great camera for a lot of the small projects that I get to shoot. In terms of lensing, we had a set of Cinematography Leica R lenses. The flares from the Leica R were beautiful. During the sunset performance scenes, we were like getting all these flares coming in, and I love how they look. I'm always for vintage lenses whenever I get to pick what lens I want to shoot on. In terms of camera setups, so this one shot that you see that is sort of from a back of the truck POV, capturing Becca and her friend Brittany driving in the truck and performing through the middle window. I had that on sticks and had to sandbag down all the legs just to try to get as stable of a shot. If I had to, worst case, stabilize it in post a little bit, that would have been fine too. For the bike shots, we shot those in slow shutter because I wanted to take those in post and mainly use them as transitions between performance scenes, or have 1 or 2 second moments between chorus or a verse, or like a certain moment where you hear the violin going up.
Please don't disappear. Honey, where do you go?
Some of this inspo came through a director that kind of inspired me to get into filmmaking from music video I saw a handful of years ago, and he had just done these beautiful scenic motorbike shots that just felt really good and grainy. I got that inspo from Jared Hogan, brought it in, and we try to kind of create our own version of that, and this is how it turned out. For all the scenes that you see where the camera's kind of moving in, obviously all that was on Steadicam and I was operating that. My intention was to just get really good takes of Becca and Brittany just performing together, and their chemistry together was just like on a whole nother level. While the sun is setting, there's a cool truck in the background, beautiful farm, kind of trees and shrubbery all around. It was just like a really fun capture because it brought the music video actually together really well. We weren't even planning on doing this setup, but we just were like, okay, let's just shoot one performance just for safety. And then when we started filming, we were like, oh my gosh, these are the takes that we're definitely going to use in the video. So as you can see, we were super lucky to have an overcast day, and most of this was just filmed in natural light. I had a little bounce coming in for a handful of the shots. We were out on a farm filming this whole music video, by the way, and we didn't have really access to too many outlets. Actually, we didn't have access to any outlets. We had one generator to work with. For the fireworks scene, the lighting setup was fairly simple. We just had budget for one light, and that was like a 600 600X that was going through a Fresnel, a 4x frame of diffusion. I think it was like opal, that was kind of helping the light spread a little bit more, because the Fresnel would have just been too harsh of a direct light. For the nighttime red light scene, we had one more light that we were allowed to use, and that was our light matte, and I just kind of set that to red, put full diffusion on that so it's a soft spread, and had the 600X in the background kind of just like throwing a shaft across the field. And even though we can barely see it, it's not very apparent, it just helps kind of give the frame a little bit more depth and more shape, because obviously when you're shooting in the dark and you can't see the background, you just have no sense of like how far the character or the subject is from the background, and just doesn't make for good cinematography. But I just tried my best with the limited resources we had. In terms of filtration for camera, I just use an 1/8 of Pro Mist that wasn't fitting the lens size, so we just kind of gaff taped it around the lens every time we had to swap lenses. But that helped kind of give a little bit of halation, a little bit of glow in the highlights as well. So overall, I think we had 5 setups that we had to film between 2 p.m. till 11. That was kind of our shoot time. And anyways, overall, I'm proud of how this project turned out despite the limited budget we had. I think we had about 4 to 5K to make this video happen, and it was a full day shoot. We had 5 or 6 people on crew. We had gear we had to rent, farm. You know, I wish we always had more resources, but it's also fun just having limitations with like, this is just kind of what we can do right now, and we gotta film this. With that type of mentality, you get creative in the moment, on your toes, a little bit more reactive, and you just try to make the best of what you're given. And you gotta show up with a positive attitude on set, not be grumpy that you're not having enough crew or lighting gear or any of that stuff. Anyways, thank you for giving me a few minutes of your day, and I hope that this was helpful. Let's stay in touch. See you soon.